If there's a win, then go get it.
What I call winning. If your goal is to be a better mother, if your goal is to get promoted.
If there's a life, you've got to live it.
So don't hide your superpower. Don't drop your mic. Don't lower your voice. Don't hide who you are.
If there's prosperity, I want you to have it.
Then what we aspire to become is really inevitable and not impossible.
And if there is wisdom, I pray you receive it.
And so I think the companies did not do a SWOT analysis of what could go wrong or what must be true in order for them to hire 50 or
IoT or all of the technologies that happen that we try to tighten up and shore up. But there's other factors that happen in the anatomy of a breach, and that is the human factor.
We have that same mindset about it's just a matter of time, it's not impossible, it's inevitable, then that will guide our walk. And we will walk boldly.
Always find a way to win.
When you have this growth mindset, you say, you know what? I've won before. I can win again. I have so much to offer. I have so much to gain. I am not done.
1, 2, 3. Okay, you heard from them. We gotta go. We gotta win. God bless you guys.
If there's a win, then go get it.
What I call winning. If your goal is to be a better mother, if your goal is to get promoted.
If there's a life, you've got to live it.
So don't hide your superpower. Don't drop your mic. Don't lower your voice. Don't hide who you are.
If there's prosperity, I want you to have it.
Then what we aspire to become is really inevitable and
Great. Okay, looks like we were playing this a second time. Hello, everybody. Hello, family. Hello, friends. Hello, colleagues. And I haven't spoken to everyone that is maybe watching right now, so I'm going to say Happy New Year, even though we are at the end of the month of January. My name is Daphne E. Jones. I'm a former Chief Information Officer. I'm a current public board member. I'm a published author, and I'm the CEO of a board readiness company. And now a host of my very first program, the Winner's Circle Live. You know, I didn't always know what was going to happen to me in my life. And I was certainly told by my high school counselor that girls like me don't go to college. Girls like me don't win. If we go to college, we won't ever graduate. If we do graduate, we would not be hired by anybody. And so I wanted to do some things that will help to inspire and encourage people around the fact that they too can win. These live broadcasts are where I hope to bring you great people who serve others and who lead others and who have also always found a way to win. There's a book that I wrote, Win When They Say You Won't. And in this book, I share the stories of other women, including myself, their triumphs, their heartbreaks, their sorrows, and their victories. And the reason why I do the sharing like that is because that I believe that by ourselves, we know a little, but when we tap into the resources, the experiences, the wisdom of other people, we will know everything. And so this series of monthly LinkedIn Lives like today and tonight will help us learn more than we currently know from tapping into the wisdom of other people. And it's going to inspire us to do more than we already do. And so let me just get started with a couple of thoughts for you to consider, ground rules. One is if you guys wanted to chat or what have you, do hashtag the Winner's Circle Live, right? When you do hashtag the Winner's Circle Live, that will allow you to be able to chat with us. And then secondly, I do have a YouTube channel called the Winner's Circle Perspective. It's videos where I'm speaking about leadership, performance, wisdom, AI, change management. It's going to be a lot. It'll be rich with a lot of content, and it'll be perspectives that I have had and gleaned from over the years. So I ask you all to subscribe to that. So it is time to get this party started. And it's time to introduce to some and to present to others, a person who isn't just merely a guest, but he's a friend of mine and has been a friend of mine for over, I don't know, 15, maybe 20 years. I'm aging myself and I'm certainly aging him. But it's been a very, very long time. Let me tell you a little about this gentleman here. Um, he's a man on a mission. And first of all, he's a Hall of Fame speaker. He's a singer, best-selling author, and popular media personality. In January 23, just 2 years ago this month, he received the Joseph R. Biden Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. I'm getting chill bumps and I'm not even cold right now, just hearing me say that about this man. He is the recipient of the National Speakers Association. For those that may have heard of NSA, that's the National Speakers Association highest and most cherished and coveted award, the CAVIT, which was named after the association's founder, Mr. Cavett Robert. He has achieved remarkable heights in life, and he will tell you he's just a humble man. He came from humble beginnings. His dad died when he was a teenager, and he put himself through college by singing. He went on to become an award-winning nightclub performer, and at the top of his nightclub career, just when he thought that nothing could go wrong, he was fired and replaced by a karaoke machine. When the karaoke machines kind of swept over America and everybody's doing them on cruise ships and nightclubs right now, he got replaced by that. But that didn't stop him. No, it didn't. I know he's going to talk about, well, how do you not get stopped in the middle of challenge and concern? So he's gone on to be named one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world. You know how many people are in the world? How many people are in the world? He's one of the top 5 speakers in the world and motivational speaker and inspirational speaker of the year by 175,000 members of Toastmasters International. He was inducted into the Speaker Hall of Fame. He's gotten the Council Peers Awards of Excellence. He started receiving speaking requests from other sectors, and he went on to speak in businesses like Ford. Ford Motors called him in 2006 and said, Willie, we in trouble. He went to work with Ford for 3 years, and they were able to reject a government bailout and go on to score billion-dollar profits. He's achieved the distinction of the certified speaker professional by the National Speakers Association. He's become the featured speaker for the Money Wise National Tour. He was chosen to replace the legendary Zig Ziglar. Y'all look him up. That's double Z, Zig Ziglar, on the National Get Motivated Tour. He's been accompanied and worked on the stage with Les Brown, Shark Tank Damon John, and sales guru Tom Hopkins. He uses his public platform, because it is truly public, to pursue the mission of empowering and encouraging other people to rise above their circumstances and maximize their God-given talent. When you all listen to our conversations, we talk about superpowers. Everybody's got a superpower, and he encourages people to be able to maximize and showcase those powers and not hide them under a bushel on a hill. So no matter what the venue is, from his exciting global TV appearances, he's got a Sirius XM radio. He talks to people at Walmart, General Motors, Comcast, Verizon, everybody basically on the S&P 500. He keeps it moving with high energy and enthusiasm, and he delivers powerful nuggets all day. He has a book. His books, one only takes a minute to change your life. Another book is A Setback is a Setup for a Comeback. And he also tells us how to turn setbacks into greenbacks. Those are just some of the books that he has written. Plus, he's written with his wonderful wife, Dee Taylor Jolley, Make Love, Make Money, and Make It Last. So that is a very important one. And they also have their show where they talk about how do you make it last. So Willie Jolley Wealthy Way show on Sirius XM channel 141. Erica Campbell. I'm going to stop here and it's going to say one more thing. His philanthropic interests are expressed through his nonprofit organization, Jolly Good News. It's good when you are good, but it's good when you do good as well. And so he is good and he does good with Jolly Good News, which focuses on helping reduce prison recidivism and encourages youth, particularly urban youth, to pursue leadership and academic excellence. He's got a doctorate degree in faith-driven achievement. He's got it from, he went from the Graduate School of Theology, a master's degree in theology from Wesley Theological Seminary, and a BA in sociology from American University. He resides in DC and shares his life with his wife, Dee, his 2 adult children, and his 2 grandchildren. I just can say, please welcome the Hall of Famer, best-selling author, and Sirius XM radio host, Willie Jolley.
Well, you know, my real claim to fame is
That's people, that's audience.
We're clapping. Well, my real claim to fame is I get to say I'm a friend to Daphne Jones and have been for many years. I met her at an event I did, and she was part of the group that brought me in. We clicked immediately. We became good friends, and I am so proud of her and excited about this new venture. And so I start with you all who are watching or listening, as I start with every audience. I have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it. It's forced upon me. I can't refuse it. I did not seek it. I did not choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it, give account if I abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, but our eternities are wrapped up in it. I'm grateful for this minute, this moment, this opportunity to be on with my friend Daphne Jones and to be able to speak to all of you to help you win more. That's what we're here to do. Help you win more. How many of y'all want to win more? Come on now. How many want to win more? If you want to win more, then you got to stay tuned for the entirety of this session. And then you got to share it with everybody you know, Lottie Dottie and everybody. Come on. So I'm grateful to be here. Thank you, Daphne, for having me.
That's right. And we don't want to bother anybody, but it's Lottie Dottie time.
That's right.
Let's get it moving. You know, I needed to catch my breath because your achievements take my breath away.
Well,
and
thank you.
Humility just goes beyond.
Well, I don't think I have a problem with this group and this audience and this show to say God gets the glory. Okay, I know I can talk about my faith in God with this one. And if it were not for the Lord on my side, when I think about how good he's been to me, my soul said hallelujah. So I am grateful. And I just want to be a vessel, a tool to do his will and his work. So thank you.
Yeah, well, let's jump into it because
all right.
Your career is incredible. You're sitting at perches at high above everyone else that only few people get to go to. But you weren't always there.
No.
Always there. Can you share a setback, one or two, that you had in your life? And how did you, number one, on the one hand, let it consume you and eat you alive? But then on the other hand, how did you not let it eat you alive?
Yes. Well, there are two that come to mind. Of course, you mentioned about getting fired. I had started as a nightclub singer. My brother was the first jazz major to graduate from Howard University, the first. And we had a jazz household. Then I started my own jazz combo. And I was making my living singing in nightclubs. Then I was blessed or given the opportunity to be the act or house act or I had a every week event. I had a very prosperous nightclub in Washington, D.C. And so things were going great. We had standing room only audiences. We had won the award for best jazz singer, best entertainer, best performer. Things were going great. But then one night I went in a nightclub, club owner said, we want to talk after the night show. So I told the guys in the band, we've been selling out for 6 months. We got standing room only audiences. We finally going to get our raise. Walked in his office and said, we love you guys, but we've made a change. There's something new going around the country that's cheaper than live entertainment. And we buy it once and it's done. And we're going to give that a shot. I said, what? He said, karaoke machine. And I was devastated. What do you mean? And I got fired. And that was a setback. But I learned from that a setback is a setup for a comeback. And I took a job with the Washington, D.C. public school system while I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with the rest of my life. And my job was as a drug prevention coordinator, talking to little kids about staying away from drugs. So the little kids, the teachers would say, wow, you're good. Can you come talk to our teachers group? Someone there would say, can you come to my church? Someone in the church would say, hey, I work for this company, that company. Someone in that congregation would come up afterwards. And it started growing. Then Les Brown heard about this guy who speaks and sings and invited invited me to be on tour with him and Gladys Knight, the Music and Motivation Dream Team tour. I was the opening act, and that allowed me to be exposed to media, where I got a little radio show that's now syndicated. You can hear me every morning on Get Up Mornings with Erica Campbell on the Praise Network every morning at 8:20 Eastern, 7:20 Central. And then I got exposed to corporate groups and started speaking for Walmart, Verizon, Johnson & Johnson, and just one after another. And things started growing. And then in 1999, I was named one of the top 5 speakers in the world by the 175,000 members of Toastmasters. 2005, I was inducted in the Speaker Hall of Fame. In 2015, I was named a legend of the speaking industry. And as you said, 2023, I was given the Joseph R. Biden Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award and the Cavett Award, the highest award in speaking. And I'm proud to say that's not on there. In December of 24, myself, Les Brown, and George Frazier were given the Titans of Speaking Award. So, I'm very grateful. But that all happened because I got fired and had a setback. And that's what I want to encourage people. You're going to have setbacks. Now, that's my business, my professional setback. Let me tell you the one that's harder, though. In 2003, I lost my mother. Now, I'm a mama's baby boy. And so my brother and I, my older brother, 19 months older than I eulogized her, along with Les Brown, who was her other son. 25 days after my mother died, my brother dropped dead of a heart attack. 8 hours after my brother died, my father-in-law, my mentor, my wife's father, died that same day. So I got hit, bam, 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 and I had to eulogize all 3 of them. And it was overwhelming, and it was grief-stricken, and I was hurting. But here's what I learned. I learned that nobody gets out of life alive, first. Second, I learned that when you lose someone you love, you must make a decision. You have to decide. Are you going to curse because the rose bush has thorns, or are you going to celebrate because the thorn bush has roses? Are you going to curse because they're gone, or are you going to celebrate because they came your way? I decided to celebrate. I know that no one is going to live forever. My mom was 87. And here's what I learned about that is that my mom had my brother when she was 39. And that was her first child because she had traveled the world. She was a school teacher. She loved traveling. Then she got married, had my brother at 39. And the doctors told her, you're almost 40. Back in the 50s, they told women, don't have children in your 40s. But thank God mama didn't listen, and she got me here. Okay, she brought me to the world. So I celebrate that. My brother, when he was 16, got his driver's license, had a little beat-up van. He was driving on the Beltway in D.C., and he pulled in front of a tractor trailer, and the truck almost killed him. But he didn't kill him. And he had another 32 years of being with me. Right. So what am I going to do? Curse because they're gone, or celebrate because they came this way? I choose to celebrate. Right. I wish they were here, but you know what? My look at, if there's something in your life you don't like, change it. Right. But if you cannot change your attitude. So those are 2 setbacks. One more thing. When my brother, my father-in-law, my mother, my brother, and my father-in-law died, I got a call from Les Brown when he heard the news. And I told him I'm going through hell. He said, yes, you are. I said, I'm going through hell. He said, yes, you are. I said, what should I do? He said, I don't know. But when you're going through hell, don't stop. Don't stop for a stoplight, stop sign. Don't stop for nothing. Get up out of here. Hell. And it made me laugh when he said that. And it gave me a release. Let me tell you, folks, you've got to find something uplifting when you're down in the dumps. You got to find something that encourages you. That's one of the reasons, Daphne, why I started my daily 1-minute motivational messages that we send out globally. You hear it on radio. Also, you hear it on television stations. We also send it out on social media. And if people would just go to wjwow.com, wjwow.com, and they sign up, they can get a daily 1 minute. It's 1 minute to help lift your spirits. Because statistics show that if you read or listen to something positive in the first 20 minutes of your day, you have over 40% greater achievement than if you didn't. Let me give you why. If you woke up this morning, it was cold and clammy and wet and dreary and just, you know, your body wants to do what? Stay in bed. But if you woke up, the sun's shining, the birds are singing, it's a beautiful, glorious day, you don't want to miss none of that day. So you get up and get busy. The same is true for your psyche. If you wake up and hear how many people got killed, how many children got snatched, how many new diseases are coming toward us, it's put the cloud over your head. But if you hear this 1 minute message from Willie Jolley, every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up and knows it must run faster than the fastest lion or it will be killed and eaten. Also, every morning in Africa, a lion wakes up and knows it must outrun the slowest gazelle or it will starve to death. It does not matter whether you are a lion or a gazelle. When the sun comes up, you better be running.
You better be running. I love it. I love it. Oh my God. And so when I listen to you, your mind has to be right.
Yes.
What have you always been this way, or
No.
necessity laid upon you? I mean, how did you?
No.
Say
I made a decision to change. It's a decision. You know, there's a book that was written that there are two types of mindsets, and you talk about it: growth mindset, and the set mindset, or you stay in the same place. Yeah. And so you have to make a decision to change yourself, because that's your choice. And so when I was younger, I was a friendly kind of guy, but I was a negative thinker. I would talk myself out of stuff. I had self-esteem. I didn't think I was good enough. I didn't think I could sing well enough. So I had self-esteem because of my inputs. Remember, inputs determine your outputs. But when I decided to change myself and grow myself and develop myself, that's why self-development is so critically important. I started reading books and listening to audios. I started programming my mind for success. And that's what I want people to do. Make a decision. So it wasn't always that way. In fact, I was back in the neighborhood where I grew up in Northwest Washington. And I saw one of my buddies who I grew up with. And he said, "Willie, I got a question for you. I saw you on TV. I've seen your books. How did you get smart? Because you were in the dummy part of the class with me." He said, "How in the world did you get smart?" And I said, "You know what? I worked on my brain. Yeah. I worked on myself. And you can do the same." Yeah. And I gave him books. I told him, "Go read Think and Grow Rich." Yes. I want you to read that book. I want you to read this. I want you to listen to these things. Change your inputs. You'll change your outputs. That's right. And so that is where I started developing. And let me tell you, I'm still working on me.
I know that's right.
I'm working on me. Warren Buffett said, "The minute you stop learning is the minute you start losing." Okay?
They say when you're done learning, you're done.
That's right.
Somebody asked Stevie Wonder if he's been blind all his life. He says, "I don't know." He hasn't lived all his life yet.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
It's never too late. And one of the things that I really strongly believe, Willie, is that there is no transformation without reimagination.
Right.
Reimagine who you are, who you want to be, and make the decision, like you say, to say, "I'm not going to go down quietly in the night. I'm going to fight for what I want, and I'm going to change my mindset." Because without the mind, let this mind be in you.
That's right. That's right.
And it starts with the renewing of your mind. So that's great. I want to encourage the viewers, do a hashtag Ask Willie.
Yeah. Hashtag Ask Willie. WILLIE. Hashtag Ask Willie.
Yeah. And then, so how did you stay motivated?
Oh, let me tell you, I got a routine.
Okay.
I got a routine, and I do it every single solitary day.
Okay.
I wake up and I open my eyes and I say thank you. I literally verbally say thank you out loud. Thank you, God. I get another day. I got another one. Thank you. I roll out of bed, go to the bathroom, take my bathroom needs, brush my teeth and everything. I come back and I take time to pray. I get on my knees and I thank God for the day. And then I ask him to protect my family, protect my friends. And I have a list of prayers that I ask people that I ask for. By the way, last week I go to First Baptist Church of Glen Arden in DC, and every year for the last 30 years we've had a revival, New Year's revival, and Bishop T.D. Jakes has always been the revivalist. And then he stays on a Saturday morning and does a leadership session. Well, as you know, this year he has had a health challenge, so he didn't come. We're praying for him. But I decided in his stead to do a leadership conference for any and everybody who wanted, and we did it online. And we had thousands of people who've viewed it now. And I want to give that as a gift to all of your viewers. If you'll go to wjspeaks.com/thrive, we want you to thrive in 2025. wjspeaks.com/thrive. You can get it as 2 hours. And in that what brought me to that, it just popped in my mind because I talked about my prayer. I pray for 7 things. Number 1, I pray for wisdom. Number 2, I pray for discernment. I want to hear from God. Okay, what should I do here? Number 3, I pray for great health. Number 4, I pray for my family to be surrounded, to have great health, to be covered. Number 5, I pray for my friends. Well, I want my friends. I know when you lose a friend, it's like losing a family member. I lost 2 last year. I didn't have that. I had 6 things last year. I didn't have pray for my friends as one of them. And 2 of my best female friends from lifelong passed from cancer. So now I added pray for my friends. So wisdom, discernment, great health, then pray for my family, then pray for my friends, then financial abundance. Financial abundance, overflow, that I've got more than enough so that I can give some. And then number 7, I pray for legacy. Someone asked me on a TV interview, Dr. Willie Jolley, what's your biggest goal? Oh, and it was easy, quick, fast, in a hurry. I didn't have to think about it. I said, my biggest goal is 100 years from now. That some child will walk into a room and see a picture of me and my wife and run up and kiss it and say, thank you, great, 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 great granddaddy. Thank you, great, 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 great grandmama for what you did back years ago, decade ago, a century ago to make it possible for us to have a college education, to have a home, to have these things. That's my biggest goal. I will never see it, but that's my goal. They say the great ones, they plant trees that take 80 years to grow when they're 80 or 90 years old. They'll never sit under that tree, but they do it for future generations. That's my goal. So that's what I do. I first roll out of bed, go to the bathroom, come back, I pray for those 7 things, and then I work out. I do some sort of physical activity. I go to the gym, or I take a walk, or I get on a bike, or I do something to release those endorphins that are in our bloodstream. They're natural uppers, lift your spirits. And last thing I do is I read or listen to something positive. I have a project I did called Power Music. And I listen to this music every day that I recorded. And if you go to, let's see, the website is, well, if you go to winwithwillie.com, winwithwillie.com, and look for the power music and just listen to some of it. It lifts my spirits. Every day I listen to it. Every day.
What is the daily motivation, 1 minute?
Yes.
What site is that?
That's you can sign up at winwithwillie.com, but wjwow.com. And got some free ebooks, some free audio. We give away a lot of stuff, and you can get that sign up.
So, all right. So one of the things that I also believe is that we're not here by ourselves, and we're not here for ourselves, and that's what
correct.
Basically you're saying. And
yes.
In my book, I talk about the 5 F's.
Yes.
Your family, your finances, your fitness, and furthering your career. And so that is when you pray for it, then things are able to happen to allow you to have good health and fitness. And you never want to live longer than your money. So finances is a very important aspect of this. Your faith in your family is very important. So you pray about those things. And when you read my book, I share with you how do you activate those things.
Can I take a moment of personal privilege right here? Everybody should read her book. Everybody should read her book. Everybody. I had her on my XM show, one of the highest rating shows we had the season she was on. People raved about her story of being told she wasn't good enough, that she should be in the secretarial pool. People raved about her story of overcoming her own self-limiting thoughts to go to college and become a CIO. And it's incredible. If you want to hear the interview, you just go to my Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast, look for the Daphne Jones interview. It's phenomenal. And you listen to that interview and then buy her book. Buy it for everybody in your network. Everybody.
And by the way, everybody, Willie must have mentioned 1,500 different websites he's talking about. And so what we're going to do is we're going to give a list of those so that you don't have to worry about writing anything down. When we replay this, we'll put that in the captions, all the different sites that he's got. Because
I got a million of them. Look, I got a million websites. I got good stuff on all of them. But part of this, Daphne, is because of my ADDness. Okay, it's my ADDness kicks in. I got a million ideas, and every time in my staff meeting in the morning, I say, "Folks, I got an idea," and they all go, "Oh Lord, here we go, kid. Here we go."
Yeah. And it's good that you've got executors. You're the idea person.
Yes.
Of executors.
Well, let me take a moment of personal privilege again to give a shout out to my bride. Okay, without my bride, I would be nothing. I would be nowhere. I'd be broke, busted, disgusted. I've been married to a woman for 40 years who is my partner. She is my best friend. She's my confidant. She's my advisor, trusted advisor. Her name is D. Taylor Jolley, and she has been just part of everything I do, and she encourages me to dream big. And then she takes all of
Every time I see him, I see her. So
that's right. And I'm the tree shaker. She's the jelly maker. So that's how we roll.
All right, fantastic. I love it. Let me ask you another question.
Sure.
What is the most important mistake people make? Because I hear, it's very positive. You think, you pray, you focus on certain things, you make decisions about how you're going to think. What is the most important mistake people do make in how they think?
Yeah, the biggest challenge people have in their thinking is thinking like grasshoppers. They're just little, and that's a biblical that when the Hebrew children were going to see the promised land, Moses sent out 12 spies, and 10 of them thought like grasshoppers. Well, they got to the promised land. There were big old grapes and pomegranates and all of this good stuff, milk and honey, but they got giants. And we look like grasshoppers compared to the giants. But Joshua and Caleb, the only two, said, yeah, but we got God. And so we can do this. We can do this. We can take the land. And I think that's what I want. Don't think small. People think small. I have to encourage me all over my office. If you can see my office, I got eagles all around. I got about 10 eagles in my office. I've got stuff to remind me. One of them is life is a fight for territory. When you stop fighting for what you want, what you don't want automatically takes over. All right, I got another one. Stop playing small. Play big. If you're going to dream big. If you're going to dream anyway, why dream big? We do an exercise. Well, I tell people, if someone was going to give you anything you wanted, a billionaire came, what would you want? And most people say, well, I want a new car, or I want my bills paid. I want to get out of debt. And he said, I'll give you anything you want. Why don't you say, give me your $1 billion? Give it to me. Okay. Right. But they think like that. They think small. So don't think like grasshoppers. That's the biggest mistake. Think big, think bold, think quantum, and then start acting on it.
That's beautiful. What are you working on these days?
Oh, girl.
I'm sorry. Let me limit it. What is the top 2 things that you are working on these days?
Thank you, because I'm ADD.
Why those 2?
All right. Yeah. I'm working on, first and foremost, my new book. Okay, I got 3 of them in the hopper.
Okay.
But the first one is the most important right now. It's called Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better. Rich is good, wealthy is better. I'm literally, it's coming out soon. People are pre-ordering it. I was asked to speak for the International Franchise Association in December. And the guy who called me, we were just chatting. And he said, like, what are you working on? I said, I'm working on his new book. And it's called Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better. He said, oh my God, I love that. Oh my God. When you speak, could you just mention and talk about that a little bit? Well, and then I said, sure. A couple of days later, he said, I shared it with the board and everybody. Rich is good, wealthy is better. They want you to know, can they buy something? I said, it ain't out yet. He said, we will pre-order it. We want to be the first in line. So now people can pre-order it at richisgoodwealthyisbetter.com. Okay? richisgoodwealthyisbetter.com or wjspeaks.com/wealthy. Now, that's the biggest thing because that book talks about the 5 money mindsets that we see that we can learn from. And everybody fits in one of those mindsets. The first mindset is the one-day mindset. You do see these people on the corner with a cardboard box asking, can you give me enough money to make it through the day? And every day they repeat the cycle. Then you got the 30-day mindset. You got the 30-day next. Those are people who live on fixed income, who every month they repeat the cycle. At the end of the month, they got more monthly money, and they need to find a way to just get through the month. Then you got the 1-year mindset. That's people who tend to live year to year, and every year they ask, did I get a raise? Did I get a cost of living increase? They think year to year, and that's it. Then you got the decade mindset. Typically, you see that with entertainers and athletes. A baseball player will get $100 million contract for 10 years, and he's balling for 10 years. He got 10 Bentleys, 18 Rolls Royces, 2 helicopters. He's balling. But after 10 years, if he doesn't get that contract renewed, which most don't, if he doesn't modify his lifestyle, which often most don't, then he's going to be broke. Right. And we see that 70% of professional athletes are broke 5 years after retirement. And then you got the last mindset, the generation to generation to generation mindset. That's the people who think 100 years out. That's the people who are thinking, as the Bible says, that a good man or woman leaves an inheritance for their children's great-grandchildren. So that's what I want people to do. Now, here's my goal on this in this book, is to get each mindset to go up one step. So the person in one day just get up to 30 days. It's too big a leap, too big a chasm to go from one day to wealthy, generational. But if they can go up to the 30-day, and the 30-day can go up to the 1 year, and the 1 year can go up to the 10-year, and the 10-year could go up to the generational.
It's all about leveling up. You know, I used to tell my son when he would come in from school and he would get like a D on his test or a D on his paper. And he said, Mommy, there's so many smart kids in my class. Everybody's getting an A. I said, no, don't worry about getting an A. Next time, I want you to get a C.
That's right.
You get that C, then you figure out, okay, I got that C. How did I do that? Then do more of that, then you'll get a B.
Yes.
Then eventually you get what it is that you deserve. And so you got to have that. It's like a leveling up, gradually. You can't go from 1 day mindset to generational.
That's right.
From 1 day to 4 days.
Right. That's right.
4 days to 30 days. So I think that's fantastic.
All right. So that's the first project I'm working on. Second project I'm working on is a second book called You Can Win Now If You Know How. You can win now if you know how.
I didn't think of that title. It's a jingle. It's lyrical. You can win now if you only knew how.
Right. So those are 2 projects that I'm working on. The XM show is doing great. #1 self-help show in the country now. We got sponsors. My podcast is I'm blessed, is in the top 5% of downloads globally. Like I said, it's syndicated. We are adding a new video version of the XM show. I interview just like you do for folks on StreamYard on Zoom, and now we're making that available for people. So we got a lot of projects, and I'm grateful, and I'm speaking too.
We got like 5 or 7 minutes. I want to ask you 2 questions.
All right.
About your famous line that I quoted in my book, is that a setback is nothing more than a setup for a comeback.
Yes.
How can somebody transform from being set back and looking at it and saying, like, what do I have to do to make this a comeback?
Yes.
I know that every setback is different, especially these days with the current administration, with all of the negativity that's going on. People are going to be hit a lot negatively.
Yep.
What do they do? Are there some steps they can take? You know, you said make a decision, but after I make a decision, then what do I do to be able to turn that setback into a comeback?
So in all the stories of people I interviewed in the book, a setback is a setup for a comeback. And I encourage everybody to get that book. You can get it a hardcover at my website. Get it at my website so I can sign it to you. Just when you go to that Win with Willie, get it. 4 step. Face it, trace it, erase it, replace it. Face it. You had a setback. Don't be like the ostrich and stick your head in the ground and ignore that you had this setback or this is going on. Face it, trace it, look back and look, did I learn anything? Where did this come from? How did this happen? Sometimes it's stuff that happened upon you. You had nothing to do with it. But sometimes you set it up. You did something that positioned yourself for a bad ending. So face it, trace it, erase it. There's a reason why your computer has an erase key, a delete key. Don't dwell on it. Don't beat yourself up about it. Keep growing. Face it, trace it, erase it, and then replace it. Oh, and then replace it. And then the boss just walked in and she told me she needed that.
Reference to the boss.
And so face it, trace it, erase it, replace it. And if you do that, you're going to be fine. Replace that negative with a positive. Look at, okay, that happened, but here's where I want to go. I'll give you a quick story. One of my friends, his house with his fires in LA, he was on my show last week to tell people because his house, he's a CEO, had burnt down some years ago. And when I went by to visit him, when his house burned down, we've been friends for years. I said, "What do you see?" And he looked at the burned out house, down his dream house, down to the ground. I said, "I see a burnt out house." I said, "No. What do you see?" And I kept telling him, "What do you see?" And he said, "Why you keep asking me that?" I said, "What do you see that can be?" And he started dreaming, replacing that burnt down house with a better house. Ooh, and when he got back on that new house, it was fantastic. It was fabulous. So face it, trace it, erase it, replace it.
That's fantastic. So if you had an opportunity to have dinner with one person in history.
Yeah. Ever?
If you had a chance right now to go back in history and have dinner with somebody, who would that person be? And
Jesus. Be simple. Jesus. Jesus. I want to know how this dude, this carpenter from a little place called Galilee, got 12 guys. One of them turned out to be a flunky. And he literally changed the world. How did he do that? I want to know that. I'd sit down and ask him. Second would be Dr. King. I would want to have Dr. King as my second. And if he could come with the one with me and Jesus, that'd be real good. But
what would you ask Dr. King?
I'd ask Dr. King, how did you develop the mindset that was so antithetical that you said, we're not going to fight fire with fire. We're going to fight fire with love. How did you come up with that? And how did you maintain it? When people sicking dogs on you and hitting you with bricks, how did you stand in there and keep it and change the world again? How do you become world changers? Both of them, I say, tell me how to become a world changer, because that's what I want to do.
So that sounds like it's like a call to action for us, Willie. You're an individual man, but you spend minutes, and those minutes turn into hours, and then you turn into days, trying to change the world. And you're changing the world by one person's mindset at a time. Without the change of the mindset, nothing happens. It starts with our thoughts. Our thoughts tell us our actions, what we're going to do. And it's because of what we do that we get the results that we get.
Right.
So if we don't change our mind, we won't change our results, right?
Right.
And
that's
so
right.
the call for us is to face it, trace it, erase it, and replace it. that whatever is going on in our lives, we have the power to make that decision, to have an open mindset, a growth mindset, instead of saying, I've learned all I can, I'm not going to be able to do any more. You know, my life is limited. I'm an imposter. It's a decision that
Right.
you have to make in order to be able to face it, trace it, erase it, and replace it. I love that.
I'm
That's
a
a challenge and a call to action for
I'm
us.
a challenge everybody. I'm gonna challenge everybody to set some new goals, bigger goals. Whatever goal you set this year, I want you to go up. I want you to go bigger. If you can, oh wow, what is that website? We have a goal link free program. I think it's called wjspeaks.com/goaling. I think that's it. But if I tell you what, if that's not it, if you email me, I want the goaling website. It's free. It's a short little session on how to set goals. And email me at info@williejolly.com. Also, if you email me at info@williejolly.com and say, I saw you on Daphne's show, I'll send you a free ebook. How you like that?
Oh my goodness.
If anybody say, I saw you on Daphne's show, I want that gift. I want my gift.
Come on and do the same thing. They're gonna have to top this. How are they gonna top this? Come on. Right,
info@williejolly.com. I'll give you some gift because Daphne is the real deal. Daphne Jones is awesome. Just an awesome lady. Her presence, when you're in a room with her, her presence is so powerful that my wife and I just love her. So,
oh, God bless you. I'm so happy to be here with you. Guys, we have a lot that I want to share with you. Making a decision, say thank you, be grateful for the small things. And when you are faithful over a few things, God will make you rule over many. And so it is that appreciation that is really important. And I wrote down here, you didn't say this, but be ready for the unexpected.
oh yeah.
Karaoke situation happened to you, you didn't expect that, but you always have to say, what could go wrong with this scenario? And am I ready in case it does?
And when it does, in my book, Turn Setbacks into Greenbacks,
Yeah.
chapter number 1, do not panic.
Not
Whatever you do, don't panic. Just think your way through it. Think your way through it. You'll get through it and you'll win through it. Let me close with this. Follow your dream wherever it leads. Don't be distracted by less worthy needs. Shelter it, nourish it, help it to grow. Hold your dream deep, down deep where dreams grow. Follow your dream, pursue it with haste. Life is too precious, too fleeting to waste. Be faithful, be loyal, and all the day through, the dream that you follow will keep coming true. God bless you. Thank you for having me. I love you, Daphne Jones. You know that. Bam.
Don't go anywhere, but I wanted you all to please subscribe to the Winner's Circle live updates. Please subscribe. Get on YouTube and subscribe to my channel, the Winner's Circle Perspectives, and you'll see some of this kind of videos, and plus some other videos that we do. Connect with Dr. Jolley. We're going to give you a list of all of those 3 million sites and shows that he does. And it'll be up to you all to just go grocery shopping. There's going to be so much fruit and so much meat that you're going to be able to get from Dr. Jolley. And remember, always find a way to win. And when you join and come in the Winner's Circle, I want you to stay in the Winner's Circle, and you will always find a way to win. Let me show you what's coming up next, and I'm going to say goodbye right here. But my next screen lets you know. Don't go anywhere, Mr. Jolley. The next screen is going to show you who's coming up next. And let's show you what's going to be happening in February. Next slide. So John Flannery is going to be my guest in February. John is a dear friend of mine. He was also the CEO of GE Healthcare. He became the CEO of GE as well. And I worked with him during my tenure at GE. Wonderful guy. Minda Hart's award winner. She's a screenwriter now. She is the author of The Memo and other books. I want you guys to see her in March. Thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and share.